Happening, I just wanted to say that, listen, guys, I took a chill pill for a minute because I wanted to kind of check the temperature and see what was going on. I just wanted to see where y'all heads was at, because the thing is, I got a lot to give y'all, but the thing is, I got to see the engagement too, what I'm saying, as a content creator, because that's what we are on this platform. I'm a content creator, you know what I mean? And so, I just wanted to see where y'all heads was at. Like I said, I appreciate the subscribers, but this thing it's about foundational Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of where you're at right now, regardless of what's your status, how many bodies you got for women, for the young guys, because this is for the young guys. You know what I'm saying? It's about the young guys, because the thing is, you were the most targeted group. You know what I'm saying? You're the most targeted group out of all other groups here in America. No matter where you at, no matter what your background is, I don't care if you don't got two quarters to rub together. Okay, I just want to talk to you, young foundational Black American men. If you're in California, okay, no matter if you're out there or if you're all the way down to Florida, all the way up to New York and back, I'm talking to all the young foundational Black American men. Okay, because the reality is, you young guys, y'all are the future. You're the blue ocean market of the world. You are the prize. Okay, y'all are the prize of the world. Okay, because the thing is, if there's going to be any salvation that comes to mankind, it's going to be to you. And like I say, I don't care who you are. You could be a bum on the street. You know what I'm saying? Or you could be up in a mansion somewhere. I'm talking to you, talking to y'all, because the responsibility lies on you. Okay, everybody's looking to you. Even though the whole game, the whole mind game that's being played on you guys is, number one, getting you to downplay your history. And number two, getting you to believe that you're not important as a demographic. But you are. Not only are you important, you're the most important demographic. And I'm saying that from a place of history, from a place of truth. All right, that's where I'm coming from when I say that you're the most important demographic at this point in time. See what I'm saying? Politically, everything. The thing is that you need to recognize your value, not how the predominant society and the media is cherry picking, okay, people from among us and putting them up as leaders. Okay, that's not what the real measuring stick is. I'm talking about you as a demographic. Every last one of you, okay, has a seed of greatness in you. It has the seed of leadership, as the seed of being able to lead all of these other demographics, all of these other immigrants, including the predominant society and all of these world powers, to a better future. Okay, and that's one of the main reasons why you must have reparations. That's one of the main reasons why you must have reparations. Okay, it's non-negotiable. Okay, people can't say that it's all good and they're not going to indemnify you for what your ancestors suffered. You see what I'm saying? Because the reality is this: if you don't even own 1% of all the wealth that's created here in America, but yet you're contributing a great amount of what's being spent on an annual basis. All right. So that's an important piece right there. I think about this brother. He was the leader of the NCAA, Medris Evers. You know what I'm saying? This particular gentleman here, this brother, put in a lot of work back in the 60s. And the reason why I'm bringing him up is because he was assassinated. And I feel like, the thing is that when people begin to speak up for certain things, we have to be in a position to protect our people that are speaking up on our behalf. You know what I mean? That's a very, very important piece of the puzzle. And I just want to remind you, young people, that you wouldn't have the luxuries you have today if it wasn't for people putting in work. And when I say putting in work, I'm not just talking about casting a vote. Okay, the crux of the civil rights movement, okay, came about because our people was out there throwing hands. Okay, we was out there actually turning up. All right, it wasn't nothing pretty about what was going on in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? There was a city called Cairo, Illinois, Cairo. Okay, Illinois. That city, that was a town, I believe, in the 60s or so. You check it out. That was a time right in the time of the civil rights era where it was a predominantly Black town, and the people in this town, a lot of the businesses were white, but they were saying that they wasn't going to cater or do nothing, to cater or serve the people in the town, which is the Black people. So they started turning up. So they started running. So what happened was a lot of businesses started leaving town. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just bringing that up to say that town is now it's deserted. So nobody really goes to the town, but it's people still there. It's Black people still there. There was just a grocery store that was just open there a few months ago. You see what I'm saying? For what appears to be a Black own grocery store. But I'm just saying all that to say, young people, listen, when you think about politics, I know when I was in school, it was just something that, okay, you got to be into that subject. But listen, you gotta reprogram your mind. It's not about thinking about something of it's just that's not my lane or that's not something I'm in. Listen, you are in a pickle right now. Okay, you're in a pickle. You own less than 1% of the wealth. It's not about individualism, and a lot of this is because of our parents. They didn't break down the game for us, man. They didn't break down the game for us. They was too busy trying to get in good with the predominant society. They was too busy trying to get a pat on the head from them, and they sacrificed you. But see, the reality is that a lot of the, like, your parents, now they grew up in the 80s. Now that was the first generation coming out of the civil rights that thought it was sweet. They thought that, oh man, we get, as long as nobody's cursing me out or, hosing me or, sicking me down with dogs, then that means there's no racism. When that couldn't be further from the truth. You see what I'm saying? And so, I know personally for me, I grew up in a household where, my parents, they really tried their best to coon it up. They tried their best. They tried their best to ignore any type of acts of aggression from the predominant society. We moved into an all-white neighborhood, and we got a brick thrown through our car window. You know what I'm saying? And that was a perfect opportunity to have a conversation. So I'm just bringing that up to say that, listen, cooning and trying to ignore when we're being mistreated as a way to feel like we're going along with the flow. Okay, to not look like troublemakers, that's got to go, because that's not how our ancestors was. Because guess what? If they was like that, we would still be in the same predicament we was in 200 years ago, or maybe 100 years ago. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not people try to glorify certain aspects of what Martin Luther King talked about, but they never talk about his last speech that he gave before he was assassinated, which was The Other America, where he talked about the fact that foundational Black Americans need to be compensated. Okay, it needs to, if we're going to, share the same ideals of brotherhood, okay, as white and Black, we got to have the same economics. And so that's the conversation that got him killed. And so what I'm telling you guys is that, listen, okay, no matter where you at, look, we got to hold these leaders accountable. I'm talking about the celebrities. Any celebrity, rap artist, football player, all of these guys, they have to be held accountable. It's not about supporting them and all this cool and this, that, and the third. Listen, what are you doing for your community? Why? Because I'm seeing a lot of our young guys are they're being targeted out here, man, in the streets. And so what I'm saying is there's a lot of people that just don't have the voice. And so it's upon these leaders, the rappers, yes, the rappers, the rappers, the singers, the dancers, the content creators, the football players, the Mayweathers, all of these people, it's time, they got to use their platform. You might not have to know, you don't have to know about politics, but everybody needs to be stomping for the indemnification and the reparations, cash reparations for foundational Black Americans, not all these other immigrants. It's about you. So I just want to talk to y'all and tell you, listen, man, y'all need to, communicate with your leaders, communicate with these people. And another thing, to the sisters, a lot of the sisters, the thing is, you got to understand now, see, the predominant society, they'll accept you into corporate America. They'll give you a job and they'll give you a bag like they've been doing since the 70s. But you have to understand when you're being insulted. As long as they ignore your man, okay, as long as they try to erase him out of history, because that's another thing that they're doing. They're trying to attribute everything that foundational Black Americans have contributed to America, to immigrants, to Africa, to Asians, to Latinos, okay, to all of these other people, except the foundational Black Americans. They're doing their best to do that. And so, sisters, when you allow corporate America to just lift you up, okay, elevate you as being the head over not only the Black community, but then also, in its executive positions, and you have a problem with your man, okay, and there's some healing that needs to happen between you and men in your community, because a lot of y'all got problems. A lot of us, yes, we do have problems with the men in our community. Now, you allow the white man to weaponize that. You see what I'm saying? And so what I'm saying is, we can't complain about the violence. We can't complain, because see, here's the thing. I see a lot of sisters getting targeted too. And so I think what's really starting to happen is sisters are starting to realize that it's nothing really in it for us too. Because when they try to go and get with these other nations, they don't be leaving them no inheritances. You see what I'm saying? Sisters ain't really getting bags like that when they go marry Bob, or when they go marry, You know what I'm saying? When they go marry these other people, man. You know what I mean? They don't get bags. The only way a sister is getting the bag is by throwing her own people under the bus. It's the same with brothers when they go on these jobs. But the thing is, they don't hire as many brothers. So it comes back to us holding our elders responsible. But the thing is, a lot of them, they just trying to live and die in peace. Now, they didn't create no opportunities for us. That's why a lot of us are in the mess we're in now. Like I said, a lot of them, they came out of this, they was the first generation. They grew up in the 80s where they thought it was sweet. You know what I'm saying? So they tried to raise us like that. So a lot of us, the young guys, we're on the front line, in and out of jail trying to sell something, kicking doors, doing all of this extra stuff to get just to survive, because we're being marginalized in the workforce. That's one of the key places where we're marginalized at. Okay, and it's on the hush hush. They ain't talking about it. Anytime they talk about employment numbers in our community, it's always including immigrants, Asians. That's Latinos. They put all of them people together. When they talking about black, they be talking about Africans and all of these other people. So stop with the minority garbage. Never let a politician, not just the president, but all the way down to your city council members, address you as a minority. Okay, you're important. And if they are not supporting cash reparations, okay, and some type of hate bill to protect you, okay, to protect your sons, now that's if you want to get involved on a political level. I say at least you need to be holding folks by their necks in terms of reparations. This government owes you. And they can't look you in the eye and say that they've done right by you if they haven't paid you for those 200 years that you worked for free. You see what I'm saying? And like I say, you got other immigrants that'll try to come into conversation. You got Asians that'll probably try to come into conversations, or people will try to say, well, other groups, everybody's been through indentured servitude. But this is the greatest slavery that happened in history. And everybody knows that America is the greatest nation that ever existed. And it was built off the backs of foundational Black Americans. And this government is the only government that's still around. A lot of those governments that those people that quote unquote was indentured servitude to, those governments no longer exist. The same government that enslaved and that benefited off of foundational Black Americans is still here today. So stop letting Kamala Harris and Biden and all these people, go around the conversation and play y'all every election. You see what I'm saying? But like I say, now when it comes to the protection end, my thing is we don't need to be traveling alone, because I'm seeing a lot of brothers getting gunned down by police, by vigilantes. Okay, brothers having to go to facing charges with having a possession of a firearm. That's crazy. I just seen a brother down in North Carolina. Just he had to take out a couple of the race soldiers because they came to his crib trying to take him to jail for having a possession of a firearm. It's like, okay, so we don't have the right to protect ourselves. It's like that's what's going on in this country, is that we, out of anybody, they definitely don't want to see foundational Black Americans having the right to protect themselves. And see, in the Bible, that's like a sword. You got to have a sword as a man. I mean, you got to have a sword. How you going to protect your family? You know what I'm saying? That's a normal thing. So having a sword is normal. There's nothing wrong with you having a gun. So if somebody is saying that it's wrong for you to have a gun, they came to your house 5 cars deep just so they could take you to jail on a warrant for you not having because you had a gun? Are you serious? And the thing is, they don't do this to other people. So I'm in good faith. I'm not going to do the comparison game, the double standard game. We all know what predicament our people are in. So I just want to say to you sisters, stop killing these Moseses in your womb. Okay, stop killing these Samsons, these Samuels, these Davids. Okay, you know what I'm saying? These Gideons. You know what I'm saying? Stop killing the prophets, man, because these are the chosen people. These are the people that can protect your community. So I don't want to see no more sisters online trying to get a bag with Benjamin Crump when their son is gunned down in the street. Okay, I'm not hearing it. My name is Bamay, and I'm saying it on record. I need to see sisters being responsible now. Y'all got the bag. It's not time for you to be selling houses, okay, and taking trips to the Cancuns every year. If you got children, especially sons, you need to be trying to create an opportunity for him. It's not the government's job to give your son a source of livelihood. It's not another man's job to give your source a job or education. You should be homeschooling your children. If you can't homeschool your children, find somebody to homeschool your children. Or if not, at the bare minimum, you need to be putting aside funds to put them in a private school, because the school system is going to teach your child to go to jail or work for somebody. And the problem with that is that that's going to whimper on his identity. And the problem with the last generation, our parents' generation, that was the first generation in the 70s where they were doing their best strategically through media and propaganda to take away the positive image of black men and social responsibility towards our community. So we got a lot of these parents, that 55 plus generation, they don't have no social responsibility. They just think I can just raise my child up to 18 and I don't have to do nothing for them. 18, I gave them food, clothing, and shelter, and I don't have to pass on anything down to them. Black people, foundational Black American people, are the only people on the planet that feel that it's okay to live and die and not pass on nothing to their children. And that's going to change in this generation, because you're going to be the change. Okay, so this video is about you being the change. All right? So I just want to put that out there, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the thing is we got to be the change that we want to see. Like I say, we got to hold these celebrities accountable because they know what's going on. They not dumb, but see, the thing is they want to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And the problem with that is enough is enough. We got to start holding them by the throat. Hey, you want to do a concert, this, that, and the third. Listen, what are you doing for the community? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like call them out. Any of these guys, you know, if you're from Atlanta, call them out. You from Houston, call them out. New York, call them out. Foundational Black Americans. You from LA, call them out. Anybody, that's what I'm trying to say. And like I say, these immigrants, they're looking up to y'all, man. I don't care. They might not say it to you, but they're looking up to you. Even white people, they're looking up to you. So this is about the good of mankind, because even a lot of white people are not happy with what's going on, especially with the government. They kind of screwed them over. You see what I'm saying? It's like, dude, 400 years of dominating another people, and you still got poor white people walking out here homeless. That's crazy. And some of their parents was degrading you, calling you the N-word. I'm saying, like, some of their great-great-grandparents back in the civil rights Jim Crow days, they was calling you out. They was calling you out your name too. See what I'm saying? But now their great-grandchildren are on the street with you. Just imagine if they knew that. But they didn't make good decisions. But still, the system the system that is the greatest welfare system on the planet is whiteness. It's the greatness because, see, they got a judicial system that's going to protect them pretty much no matter what compared to you. They'll get more legal protection. They got a media and a military that's going to be in favor of them most of the time. It's crazy that I got to say this, but I'm going to just say it. I mean, like, if you got 2 cents of a brain, you know what's up. But see, the young people, this is the problem with the young people. A lot of young people are very, very, very intelligent, very smart. They know what's going on. Their parents probably didn't tell them, but if they got out here in the real world, they learned a lot of unwritten rules when it comes to the other people, the white power structure, how they, dominate every area of activity. They learn this. You know what I'm saying? In fact, they have to know this to be able to work on these jobs if they work a job. But some of you in the street, you still got to know, because you're going to run into those dirty cops or whatever the case is. Y'all know what's going on. So the thing is that it's time to stop playing along as you think you're smart. But the thing is let's say you get a couple dollars. Let's say you be like a Drake or Javante Davis, or, you know what I'm saying? You make it to the league, you know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving, you know what I'm saying? Steph Curry, you make it to the league. Mayweather. Your children, you go to the other side, your children are still going to have to walk on eggshells. So let's say you become rich. In this system, your money ain't the same as their money. And trust me, if you're talking to celebrities, a lot of them be cooning up. So what I'm trying to say is, would you rather live on your knees or live standing up, knowing that, look, my people haven't made it where they're going. And see, if the thing is, as a foundational Black American man, you can't practice self-hate. And one of the traits of practicing self-hate is acting like you're not a part of the bunch, like you that special Negro. When you say, well, I made it. I'm doing me, and it's about individualism. You see what I'm saying? I got my trinkets. You see, I got this Rolls Royce over here. I got this mansion over here. I'm doing good. I did good for me. But what about your people? Because, see, that's what comes first, not your money. It's that I'm a foundational Black American, not that, I'm a rich person, because that's fake love. If anybody's showing you love based on what you got, This I'm talking about other demographics. You see what I'm saying? If they showing you love based on what you got, but they don't respect your people as a whole, that's a disrespect to you. See, that's intelligence. When you understand that, you're like, okay, these people don't really love me. They don't really care about me because they don't have no respect for my people. See, that's another reason why on this channel, you're going to learn about who you are. If y'all didn't know, the truth is out. Foundational Black Americans can be traced straight back to Jacob in the Bible through Judah. So we come from a very, 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 very special bloodline. Okay, now there's a lot of other people, a lot of the immigrants come from that same blood, they come from the same house too, but the problem is that they're trying to boast or they're trying to flex on us, and they don't understand that we're the way out. We're the way out of this mess. Not only for them, but for all of the other nations. Okay, President Putin, he just put out some information coming clean about what Christ and the disciples look like. He's like, look, man, look, the gig is up. And now he's going to war with Israel, but hey, he still he was like, look, man, those people were black. Y'all check out when he talked about that. So to me, what that told me is that if he knows that, the Vatican, they know all kind of stuff. And America and all of these other nations know about this stuff. They know about it. They got all type of information about who we are and our history. But they've been very strategic, okay, and very intentional in hiding that history. Your history is so important, young people. All right, so y'all comment below, tell me your thoughts on that.